Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're doing things just a bit differently, but we are going to be back here with the next installment on our U.S. Supreme Court look. Today we are looking at the associate justices that were assigned under the Chase Court, which there's three. With that said, let's jump into the first one. First one we're going to take a look at is William Strong. He is from Pennsylvania, and he is an associate justice under Chase. He replaced Robert Cooper Greer and was appointed by Ulysses S. Grant. He served for 10 years and 275 days from March the 14th, 1870 to December the 14th, 1880, retiring as a member of the Supreme Court. Taking a little further look, he was born May the 6th, 1808 in Somers, Connecticut, and died August the 19th, 1895 in Lake Minnewaca, New York. He also served as a justice for the Third Circuit Court. His education was Yale Law School and a Bachelor of Arts from Yale College in 1828, a Masters of Arts from Yale College in 1831, and reading law in 1832. Now, before he became a U.S. Supreme Court justice, he had a private practice in Reading, Pennsylvania, 1832 to 1857. In between there, he was a U.S. representative from Pennsylvania, 1847 to 1851. He was a justice of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, 1857 to 1868, and had a private practice in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1868 to 1870, before finally becoming a member of the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, let's look a little at his background here. Okay, he was the oldest of 11 children of William Lightbourne Strong, an American pastor, and was the brother of Newton Deming Strong, a member of the Illinois House of Representatives, as well as cousin of Theron Rudd Strong, a U.S. House of Representatives member from New York and member of the New York Supreme Court. He served 2 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives as an anti-slavery Democrat and became a Republican upon taking the bench in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. He resigned in 1868, setting up his private practice in Philadelphia, And when a Supreme Court seat opened up, Strong was mentioned but beaten out by former U.S. Attorney General and Secretary of War Edwin M. Stanton. But Stanton would not get to serve, dying just 4 days later. William Strong was appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, and his biggest incident may involve him as one of 5 U.S. Supreme Court justices on a 15-man electoral commission to decide the contested electoral votes in the 1876 U.S. presidential election. He voted with his fellow Republicans, the majority of the commission, to give all the disputed votes to Republican Rutherford B. Hayes, giving Hayes the presidency by one electoral vote, 185 to 184, even though he lost the popular vote. Strong spent much of his time after retiring from the Supreme Court on religious causes. But yeah, that was William Strong of, I think it was Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Next person we're going to look at is Joseph P. Bradley. And he represented New Jersey and was actually a new seat on the Supreme Court. He was appointed by Ulysses S. Grant and served 21 years and 305 days from March the 23rd, 1870 to January the 22nd, 1892, dying a member of the Supreme Court. Now, let's take a look at a little bit at who he is. He was born March the 14th, 1813 in Berne, New York, and died January the 22nd, 1892 in Washington, D.C. During his time on the Supreme Court, he served as justice for the Fifth Circuit Court, then for the Third Circuit Court, and finally the Sixth Circuit Court. His education was that he earned a Bachelor's of Arts from Rutgers College in 1836 and read law in 1839. And before becoming a U.S. Supreme Court justice, he had a private practice in Newark, New Jersey from 1839 to 1870, and also was a legislative correspondent, actuary of the Mutual Benefit Life Insurance Company. So yeah, let's look at his backstory. Joseph Bradley was born into humble beginnings as the oldest of 12 children on a small farm in New York. Bradley is known for being the 15th and final member of the Electoral Commission of 1876 that decided the presidential election, giving the win to Rutherford B. Hayes. Bradley was greatly weakened while he was a member of the Supreme Court by a disease that may have been tuberculosis in 1891, dying in early 1892. But yeah, Joseph P. Bradley. And the final person we're going to look at is Ward Hunt. And he represented the state of New York and replaced Samuel Nelson, and was appointed by Ulysses S. Grant, serving 9 years and 18 days from January the 9th, 1873 to January the 27th, 1882, retiring as a member of the Supreme Court. Let's look a little further at Ward Hunt. He served during the Chase Court and the Waite Court. He was born June the 14th, 1810 in Utica, New York. Died March the 24th, 1886 in Washington, D.C. As a member of the Supreme Court, he was also Justice of the Second Circuit Court. His education was the Litchfield Law School, or Litchfield Tappan Reeve Law School, and a Bachelor of Arts at Union College in 1828. He read law in 1831. And before becoming a member of the U.S. Supreme Court, he had a private practice in Utica, New York, 1832 to 1865, was a state assemblyman for New York, 1838, was mayor of Utica, New York, 1844, judge for the New York State Court of Appeals, 1865 to 1869, of which he was chief judge, 1868 to 1869, and commissioner of appeals in the state of New York, 1869 to 1872, before finally becoming a member of the U.S. Supreme Court. Let's look at his backstory. He was the son of Montgomery James Hunt, a Bank of Utica cashier, and Elizabeth née Stringham Hunt. He was a classmate of Horatio Seymour, New York governor and U.S. presidential candidate, and as a Jacksonian Democrat, he was a member of the New York State Assembly and a mayor for Utica, New York. He became a member of the Free Soil Party in 1848 before being a founding member of the Republican Party in 1855 in New York. Hunt's association with Republican Party boss Roscoe Conkling helped Hunt become nominated to the Supreme Court by Ulysses Grant. In 1878, He suffered a stroke that prevented him from attending court sessions and making decisions, but refused to actually retire so that he could earn his pension. And it ended up that Congress ended up having to pass an exception just so that he would retire from the court. But yeah, Ward Hunt. But that is the 3 members that joined under the Chase Court. And next episode, we will be talking about the cases of the Chase Court. But that'll be it for now. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, later.